Rolling.
Rolling, rolling, rolling.
I wonder what this button does here.
Oh no, not that
Blind and Beyond.
Blind and Beyond.
It's the Blind and Beyond show.
With Hershey Trivedi.
And Dave Hillerbrand.
He'll be talking to all kinds of interesting people in the blindness community and beyond. I wonder where they could be. Let's check on them now.
Hey Hirsch, something weird is happening, man. I think we're landing. Wow.
And we have landed. Welcome all, good evening to the Blind and Beyond show. Here on YouTube, I'm Dave, and we've got Hershey and a cast of thousands. So glad you joined us, and we're going to have some fun tonight with some very interesting guests.
Ooh, Dave. That was a fun ride. What do you think about that ride? It's a nice little upgrade, don't you think?
Indeed, a lot better than that motorcycle we were riding on there for a while.
Got that nice, cool AC blowing at you, and all the snacks you want.
I think you hit the wrong button now.
Did I? What does that button do, though? There's no braille underneath the label, man.
It was just a big red button that said, "Push me."
But how did you know it was red?
Aren't all giant buttons red?
Well, I have a big knob that says they call it a big knob on my SSL. I mean, but the highest number is 11. Can you make sense of that?
It's like my guitar amps.
Oh yeah, they go up to 11.
They'll go up to 11.
Ah, so you crank it all the way up, huh?
When I have to, you know.
You know, we before the show started, y'all got into all these. What kind of guitar do you have? What kind of? But before we get carried away, again, why is there no braille label underneath that button? Can you answer that, Dave?
Well, we got ourselves an inaccessible flying saucer, I'm afraid. We're going to have to
Dave,
talk to
you know what's so silly,
the folks
man?
that put this together.
I needed to speak quiet because I don't know how to read braille. So, my bad.
I'll teach you.
Really?
Well, you could learn on BrailleDoodle.
Yeah, one of these days I'll teach you.
I heard a voice out there. Did you hear that voice out there?
We've got a way to teach you braille, my friend.
Okay.
And that's with our first guest.
Well,
our first guest
Dave,
is
we
in
got
the
to meet
Zoom
him.
room right now.
Yeah, we got to meet him, right? And it was an amazing time there in Orlando, Florida, at Assistive Technology Industry Association, where I got to see Dave after I don't know how many years, but you know, you walked around, I walked around, and your son Jordan was so kind enough to help us find Daniel and Dave. Let's go ahead. Tell him more. Tell him more.
Well, I can truly say one of the coolest devices that I ran across at ATIA conference was the BrailleDoodle device, and we're going to talk to Daniel, the inventor and CEO and all good things of the BrailleDoodle and the Touchpad Foundation. So, without further ado, how's it going there, Daniel?
Fantastic. And thank you so much for having me on.
Wonderful to have you. Where are you calling from?
This is Westchester, New York, right above New York City. Yeah.
Okay. And are you're freezing up there, or are things starting to thaw out a little bit?
A little bit thawing out, but it's still cold and yucky. Today was a particularly cold and yucky day.
Yeah. Well, we're anxious to get you back down here again to Florida, where it's I don't want to tell you how warm and sunny it was, but it was welcoming, and we're always happy to have you down here. So don't hesitate. If we can find any excuse to get you down here, we
You
will
haven't
do
been to
it.
Daytona
So,
Beach, Daniel. I mean, it's 77 and sunny right now. I mean,
Nice.
Daniel, what is your last name?
Lubiner.
Lubiner. And did I get correct that you are the CEO of the Touchpad Foundation? Is that correct?
Actually, it's the executive director.
Oh, yeah,
That's
okay.
because it's like a more of a foundation name, I guess.
I gotcha.
Executive director. So I'm the founder and executive director of the Touchpad Pro Foundation, and I founded the foundation about it's almost 5 years ago now.
Cool. Well, we're definitely going to talk a lot about the foundation and about the device itself. But first, I want to talk a little bit about you because I know you have a great a background in art, and let's first find a little bit about the artist. You live in New York currently. Are you from New York? And you might tell me where you got your start in art.
Sure. I grew up always around New York City, and so I was in Jersey actually when I grew up, but uh, I was originally much more into theater and acting and being in musicals and stuff. I even wrote and produced a sitcom one time.
Oh, no
It
kidding.
hasn't made it yet, but it could. So stand up neurotica, just wait for it.
Wow, it's got a good ring to it anyway. I like that.
Yeah. It's about a comedy club in New York City where all the people are like uh, part of the show, and then you have a comedian come on every week. So
Interesting.
yeah,
Well, it sounds like it's got some good potential there for
yeah,
sure.
yeah.
So,
Um, yeah, but I've always been into the arts growing up, and you know, visual art too, a lot of drawing and sculpting, and I started teaching art pretty much part-time. I was teaching art for a long time, but so I was a teacher. Should I just go into my whole spiel thing?
well, actually,
please.
first of all,
Yeah.
I should go back just a step. I assume that you are totally sighted. Is that correct?
Oh, that is correct.
Okay. So you can go into your spiel if you
Oh,
if you
Matthew's here as well.
Oh,
if you like, but don't be surprised if we come up with some crazy questions on the side.
oh, I love crazy.
So
I love
okay,
crazy
so I have
questions.
to ask you my typical question I ask of almost every guest. So
Okay.
this is even more fitting for you. So what's your favorite color?
Uh, dark metallic purple.
Okay, very good. There is no correct answer to this, but
Yeah.
especially being into art, I figured you might have a favorite. And
Yeah.
what is your favorite medium to do your sculpting in?
Uh, right now it's BBs and magnets.
Oh yeah,
I've been
okay.
doing this so long. I'm like, that's all I mess around with is the BrailleDoodle and you know, finding different ways to use it. And yeah, but I've always loved all kinds of things. I like working with wire. That's really cool.
It is
Uh,
cool, and when Brenda, my wife, and I visited over in Amsterdam, we ran across a couple artists that made things out of wire. In fact, they used guitar strings to
oh,
make all
nice.
kinds of different motorcycles and flowers and everything under the sun, but all with guitar strings. So something you might go off on that one of these days. But
Uh,
anyway, I'm sorry, reeling myself back in here. Um, Back to your story with art. You if you have something you want to cover, I'm certainly anxious to hear it. But I do want to hear how how you got into teaching blind people art in particular, because
Right.
that's becoming more popular, I think, and you've been doing it for quite a while. So I've got a feeling you're probably one of the earlier folks to have gotten blind folks into it. So tell us.
I don't know about that. I think, well, let me tell you a little bit about me. I was a teacher. I've been a teacher for over 25 years. I actually am not teaching anymore. I do this full time. But I taught special education for most of 25 years. I did a lot of teaching reading and teaching kids with severe learning disabled kids or Down syndrome or autistic, all across the spectrum. Um, and I think that whole time I was teaching, I had one blind student in one of my classes. She was wonderful. Um, and let's see, but then I went to the New York Institute for Special Education. And if anybody knows about that, that's in the Bronx. I think it's a little over 200 years old, and
Wow.
started off the New York Institute for the Blind. And then they branched out and had another school with it. So now the New York Institute for Special Education. And so I got hired over there as an art teacher for emotionally disturbed kids because they had a whole program going on there. And yeah, and but then that program slowly was dying out, and they just wanted to increase the blindness program. And I started teaching uh like it was kind of weird because they're like, okay, you're going to teach 100 blind students art, and you need to like start next week, and that type of thing. They just jump in there, and I
And good
was
luck
like,
to you.
yeah, and I was like freaked out. I didn't know how to handle that because I I was I didn't know I would like say the wrong thing, do the wrong thing. I didn't know how I was gonna like do art because everything,
Plus, a totally
was
different skill set for teaching
yeah,
for blind art, I'm sure, versus
right.
autistic, for example.
Yep, yep. So yeah, but it became like, first of all, the students made me feel like so right at home right away and making me feel comfortable. So like I think that's one thing that sighted people or people without disabilities in general, it's like uncomfortable being around people with disabilities if you haven't done it yet, because you just feel like you're gonna say the wrong thing or do the wrong thing, you know. But after a while, very shortly, the kids were like, they were just kids. They just wanted to play, and or do artwork or have a good time and laugh. And the teenagers were just teenagers. And, so it, it just turned into a wonderful journey where I was teaching the blind and low vision for about 5 years. And we did all kinds of different things like dropping paint off of tables and doing wire sculpture, a lot of clay and things like that.
I was gonna say I've probably done a lot of art then if it involves dropping things.
Yeah.
I've probably created lots of masterpieces.
Yep. Yep.
I did a
And
really nice thing with a bottle of root beer a couple days ago. You would have loved.
oh,
as,
it went all over.
as far as things falling off the table, anyway. Not, but I digress. No, no. So tell me, when you start teaching blind people art, is there one typical first thing you teach them? I mean, where do you start when you're at square one?
Uh, well,
I
I
would have
think
to ask that, right?
clay, yeah, clay was great, and I bought a lot of manipulatives that we could mess around with. Because I think one of the keys that's very difficult is keeping everybody like busy all the time, because if like one person's working on a project and the other person's like, oh, I'm done,
Right.
like you have to have like things around like uh, Legos or sculpting things that they could snap together. But yeah, but I just discovered there were a lot of wonderful things that we could do with clay. Um, there's special like air dry clays. Why am I forgetting the name of my favorite clay? It was like a spongy, bouncy clay. And
Interesting.
yeah,
And what's that
it's
called again?
Crayola. Crayola. It'll come to me like probably after the show.
That's all right.
But
You can always send it to me, but that
yeah,
sounds like that would be something interesting to check into for sure.
yeah, yeah.
Just for a little
I'll,
project.
it'll come to me. Let me see. Anyway, let me tell you how like the Braille Doodle came about. So
Yes, please.
like
That was my next question,
then
in fact.
yeah, yeah. And then oh, and then yeah. So and then I want to get into like introducing Matthew is on the call too. Like
Excellent.
yeah, so he's been a terrific help for years now. But let me just tell you, like the pandemic hit, right? And everybody went home. And when the pandemic hit, I was like, how do we teach these kids over the internet? Like, oh, everybody shows up on the internet. And, so I'm trying to like keep the kids engaged. So I play a little guitar. I was singing and stuff. We're writing poems and stuff, but pretty soon like kids stop coming, um and I also was wondering like how they were learning Braille, like early Braille. And you really can't do that much with somebody without something in front of you, you know? People were doing the best they could, but it was really difficult. So I had this toy. It kind of looked like this from Amazon. So what I'm holding up is the Braille Doodle. It's a thing that I invented that you could do art on one side and you could do Braille, uh, teach you Braille on the other. So it's about the size of a laptop. Um, hey Matthew, maybe you could bust in here and like, because you're good at describing this. Are you able to unmute? Sometimes it takes him a minute to unmute. But anyway, so it's about the size of a laptop. It's about inch thick. It's got hundreds and hundreds of holes in it. And inside every single hole is a small metal ball, like a BB. So when I go over it, I have a pen that's attached to it that has a little magnet on the end. So when I go over the surface, it pulls up these BBs and they stay up so you could touch them until you want to push them back down. So then I could just push them back down, right? So on this surface, I'm holding it upside down, but I just wrote the word hi and it made a smiley face, you know? Um, and so it was really cool. So I really wanted to challenge myself. So I was like, how can we do this so it would be perfect for people who are blind and low vision? So that took years to develop just the right amount of like spring underneath it to hold up the balls just right.
Right.
Because with other devices, like if you touch it, they don't stay up, but this stays up until you're ready to push it back down. You push it back down, or you could sweep it down using the side of the stylus and you could erase the whole thing, right? Um, so it was a really cool idea. Originally, it was going to be like one-sided device, and maybe we could have covers for it to teach Braille. But then, I was like, Well, what if we could teach Braille on the other side? And Matthew, you want to explain the Braille side a little bit?
Okay, are you seeing me? Are you hearing me?
All
Yep.
right. Yep. We're hearing you.
Good.
Definitely hear you just fine. How's it going, my friend?
Oh, fine. And here out here in Phoenix, Arizona,
Oh, cool. Well, I appreciate you joining us tonight.
already hot this time of year, early. But anyways, I've been helping Daniel with this for 3 years now, and I'm the chief experience officer, which means helping the customers with the BrailleDoodle, understanding how it works, understanding how to move through the system. Because if you're talking with someone who's totally blind, you have to be very exact about the words that you use. Next row, no, I mean move down and not across, and
Right.
different things like that. So
Exactly.
and so the Braille side will allow you to learn the alphabet in Braille and a few of the contracted letters, not all of them, but a few, and the capital sign, and you are able to, in the first slot, bring up only the dot that belongs to that letter. And then the second slot to the right is where you can bring up all 6 of the dots and practice it right and practice it wrong and get it right and practice it right more times than you get it wrong eventually. And keep looking at the example. You have the Braille letter below so that you can feel it. And then there's also the print letter there below. And so you go all the way through the alphabet. So there's 2 cells for each letter. And then you get your contractions. And then below that, you have 2 lines where you can free write in Braille, all this, whatever you're trying to write. And then
Okay.
below
Now,
that, your sentence with all the letters in the alphabet. The quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog.
now, are you are you holding up one of those devices, or do you have one handy? I'm totally blind, and so is Hirsch. But it would be great if you
Daniel, there, do you have one?
Yeah, yeah. I'm holding it up and I'm
Here.
actually doing a little bit of demoing while Matthew is talking.
yeah, if you can show the Braille side of it, would be very
Matthew's
interesting.
also
While
been blind since birth.
Right. But
And
very
the little
nice.
thing on the bottom side below below the sentence is the alphabet.
right.
Okay, perfect.
So, just to reiterate what Matthew was talking about, right? So in each, like, there's rectangles that go all the way across. Like the top row is the rectangles for A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and H. And in the rectangles are 2 jumbo cells.
Gotcha.
So you could start counting the dots, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 dots. But when you take the magnetic stylus over it, the other dots don't work.
Okay,
So only one dot works in for A, because dot number 1 is A.
that makes
So-
sense.
And then, so there's a teaching cell and then a practice cell. So over here is the teaching cell and over here is the practice cell. So if I do A on one side and then I do A on the other and compare it. B
That on
dot 1 and 2, and then 1 and 2, and oops, I messed up. I didn't do 1 and 2. So, like, how can I fix it? I just push them back down. So I push it back down to fix it, and then I compare it, and it
See that you got the same this time.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
that's
and you could do it over and over again, and it's kind of fun. It's kind of like, woo, you're just doing this little, like, fun kind of maneuver that makes it kind of motivation. Go ahead.
in a way you could actually teach yourself too. You don't necessarily
Yeah.
have to. I'm not necessarily a fast learner, but something like this you can do without a manual.
So I've taken calls from customers who have either emailed or phoned in and said, I got this Braille Doodle because I'm 30 miles from the nearest Braille instructor out here in the middle of Missouri or Indiana or somewhere. And they got it so that they can learn it. And so I gave them the intro lesson so they can get started on learning Braille. And Daniel mentioned the learning the letter, and then you said the other side, but it's right next to it. So you're on the Braille side. So when we're orienting this, we're flipping it like a record, flipping it over.
Right.
One side for drawing and one side for Braille, and you have you learn it and you practice, and they're not going to slip, because there's no possibility that there's any slippage on that, because it's layers. It's several layers. Daniel would have to tell you how many layers and the intricacies of it, but there's several layers inside that cause them not to slip over.
Now, I had read something about how many ball bearings are in there, like a 1033 or something. Did I remember correctly? Lots of them.
A lot. It's actually 1,333 on one side. And then it's about another 800, I think, on this side. So to get all these working just right, it was kind of a little bit of a miracle. And, we've had our issues, and, we'll get to that too, about like trying to get this just right. But yeah, so I think another big piece of this, because like this did come from like teaching. So teaching, like doing the modeling, being able to do it yourself, Dave, as you were saying, like you could take it out of the box and just start learning. And there's this whole set of videos and stuff online. So you go to directions and lessons, and it'll take you through one step at a time. And Matthew was particularly helpful in putting that together, because what we wanted to do, our mission was to have somebody in the middle of nowhere take the BrailleDoodle out of the box and be able to start learning. And, and now you're able to do that. And another thing was, like, originally I thought this would be great for kids, or, kids to start learning and kids to draw and stuff like that.
Sure.
But 50% of our customers or more have been adults. They just, they're eating it up because, first of all, it's a no pressure way to just maybe learn some of your first letters. I always say, like, when adults come up to the table and you say BrailleDoodle, and they're like, no, 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 Braille, no. I'm like, wait, hold on. Check this out. It's not that, it's no pressure. You're just kind of feeling it's kind of fun.
I'm not sure if you flipped it from the other side and talked about the graph lines, because if this had been available when I was in college years ago, I would have float around a big graph board. You could plot points, because there's little dots that you can count and see, well, I've got a 0 - 3.
Right. Yeah. Well, I would like to talk about that, because as much as I'm very much into Braille and wanting to spread the good word about Braille, any way to teaching it, I think is a big deal. But also the art aspect, I'm amazed with. So either one of you, Daniel or Matthew, if you want to cover, I know you could certainly use it for math and things like that, but also art. So maybe you can show us how you'd use that for art and stuff too.
I'm not sure if Daniel has shown you any of the templates or stencils that we have for the back side of this, but you can load in a stencil. It's about maybe 2 or 3 times thicker than a piece of Braille paper. It's stiffer plastic, but not like plastic that would crack. Well, I mean, it's I don't know the thickness of it, but it's
it's a credit card, a little, maybe less than credit.
Flat credit card, but you can load in a whole set of Braille cells in the back side of it if you want to write a whole page of things. And then you have another template, which is the top 4 dots of the Braille cell, because those are used for numbers. So you don't need the bottom 2 dots for numbers. So you could do your math equations. And the third template is a set of, there's a sidewalk, and there's a house and some trees. And so
So
that's
that's the one I'm putting in now.
okay. All right.
So I got this one in now, and this is like my favorite because you were talking about like art and doing art, Dave, and this. So one of my favorites was to make a template like this, so somebody can trace it out. So it's like a stencil cover that has a house and two trees on it. Like one of the things I was thinking, like if you go to someone who's been blind since birth, and I say, what's taller, a tree or a house? Um, you never get that whole concept like of the thing. I'm talking about like talking to kids and stuff. And if you find out together, like doing things together, like that's the most important thing about this is being able to do it, have the student do it, not just show them tactile displays or, even with the, $15,000 displays, it's all about like, oh, here it is, check it out.
Is this they can actively participate and
Right.
make their own stuff.
You're
So,
making it, you can manipulate it. So if I made this tree and a house, I could make the house different. I could put bushes around the house. I can make the tree bigger or smaller.
the stencils are interesting too. Is it possible to? I would assume it. The amount of stencils is as great as your imagination. But would you be able to show, or is there written instructions if someone sighted wanted to produce stencils for this? Because I could imagine people could go
Yeah,
crazy.
you could get it if someone has a Cricut machine. They could definitely print out. So they could cut out some vinyl. They could do.
Right.
Get
I'm
it.
thinking of something like some of these 3D printing machines and stuff could probably
But
make all kinds of outrageous stuff.
3D printing, Cricut machine that cuts into paper or vinyl, that could be a thing as well. And the thing that I like to do as well is positive as well as negative physical impressions on the display as well. So sometimes we take a bar magnet and bring all the ball bearings up and then press your fingers down like you're modeling in clay.
It sounds like some cool stuff.
Sure.
I'll tell you, I'm excited to talk to you further about the invention and how it's being used and where we can get it and about the foundation. So if you can stick with us for a couple minutes, we will be right back after a word from our sponsors, some of the folks that are inspiring us to be on the air here. So
Okay.
we'll be right back. Don't touch that dial or don't touch that mouse or any of those other things.
The revolutionary Cadence Tactile Tablet is your gateway to a new world of electronic access and communication. At Touchable, we're dedicated to bringing the Cadence Tablet's true multi-line Braille, tactile animation, and powerful learning tools to the worldwide blind community. The Cadence Tablet is shipping today and available for purchase at the Touchable online store. Visit gotouchable.com.
Lynn! I'm looking for the lid to the container for the tuna fish. I want to put the tuna fish in the container, but I can't find the lids.
Michael, the lid is under the toaster oven.
Oh, Lynn, come on now. This is ridiculous. What a joke. Lynn, if you would have gotten Mr. Lid, their lids are attached to the containers. This wouldn't be happening, Lynn.
All right, Michael, I'll go to MrLid.com and we'll get organized.
Thank you.
Tired of losing the lids to food storage containers and cluttered cabinets? Well, Mr. Lid containers solve that with their unique attached lid design, making them easier to find, use, and organize. With sizes from half a cup to 1 gallon, they're stackable, food safe, and easy to clean, making your life easier. Get yours today at MrLid.com. Use code BEYOND15 for first-time customers. That's MrLid.com.
At the Carroll Center for the Blind, vision loss isn't the end, it's a new beginning. Since 1936, we have helped individuals of all ages build the skills, confidence, and independence to thrive in a sighted world. From technology training to mobility and career readiness, we don't just teach, we transform lives. Take charge of your vision loss journey. Visit carroll.org.
Wow, Dave. So much learning to do, Dave. I'm loving it.
Yes, indeed, we are back. The Blind and Beyond YouTube show.
Yes, indeed. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for all your support and, staying tuned with us. And if you want to be a guest, reach out to us by reaching us on email at blindandbeyondshow@gmail.com. Currently, we are talking to Daniel Lubiner, and he is part of the Touchpad Foundation up in New York. And there's a couple of different products, and we have with him his colleague, Matthew. And so let's jump back into it, Dave. What do you say?
I think we should. Now,
Did
Daniel
Ms. Brenda
and
say
Matthew.
if anybody else had any comments or questions for Daniel or anyone? Did anybody? Did
I
you
haven't
hear
heard any
anything?
pop up, but
Okay.
But Brenda will
Yeah.
bring it to our attention. I've got a feeling if we get a
I
couple,
have a feeling too.
she'll bring up and at least let us know. So
Sure. Let's dive right back in and we'll talk some more with Daniel and Matt.
So Matthew, I got a feeling you've got something on your mind. So tell us a little more, if you would.
I was just telling you that there's a pro in there. It's Touchpad Pro Foundation.
I gotcha. Okay.
Apologies.
So,
One more time.
touchpadprofoundation.org.
Very good. Yeah.
Touchpadprofoundation.org.
Yes, and we want to talk about the foundation in just a minute too, because it's a very important work you guys are doing, and so we definitely want to spend some time on that. But anything else you want to talk about as far as I think you kind of touched as far as the teaching Braille aspect. You said that you can get some instructional material on YouTube of how to use the doodle. Is that correct?
Yes, that's right. We do have a set of video lessons, and then there's a Braille worksheet inside. If you already know Braille, of course, you have the printed cardstock as well, printed instructions. But there's a QR code on as well.
Cool. And in a way of learning Braille, everybody learns differently. And but this is a good, fun way and low pressure, low commitment, and something fun that you can not only learn Braille on your own, but also, it doesn't have to be all education. It can be fun and just cutting up and the artistic side too. So to me, that's the really exciting part. Is I even heard you could use, for instance, like or make like maps and things like that.
Right. And then if you have to make a quick change, we already saw that you can make your quick change. I mean, if you embossed a graph or a map and then they said, oh, that we need to make a change, you have to emboss that over again. But with the BrailleDoodle, you just make a small change with the ball bearings and you have it sorted.
And someone cited on the art side of the doodle with the stylus, they could literally draw something that they make a map or make something for someone that's blind, so that they could actually feel the tactile representation.
Let me demonstrate that map concept for you, because that's a great point. We had a lot of O&Ms get excited about this, because if you're training or even if you're telling someone like at Site City how to get to or CSUN where I was, how to get to the bathroom, or you can make it like an instant map. So I'm just drawing on the BrailleDoodle here like a little box where like we could start with this table, then I could come down. I'm drawing a line with about 15 dots going straight down, and then I can make a right and draw like 10 dots going that way, and then make another right. Well, that was the left, and then a right. There you go. And then another right, and go down this many dots. And maybe the dots can actually also serve as like a sort of distance finder, like how many strides you're looking at to get to a certain place.
Sure, you can.
And yeah, another thing that's weird. I just went through this intersection yesterday. I was going to see my son play guitar, but I went through this intersection that actually has like 1, 2, 3, 4, like 6 different corners on it. I don't know. It has so many different corners. Like you can make a right, you could go straight, you could go up to the right, bear right. You could, go back and bear left. It's like, and I was always thinking, like, how do you explain that to a person who's blind to travel and get across that?
Right.
Well,
And I have to tell you, over the years, I went to public school, and you're probably familiar with the device that where you can use a stylus and draw on a type of like cellophane paper, and it would raise it up slightly. And I had science teachers that would draw a picture on there, and they're trying to demonstrate what the circulatory system looks like, for example. And
right.
I could touch it and I say, well, I can kind of understand where he's coming from, but not really. It was a kind of a feeble attempt. And something like this, literally you could draw it in no time. And I assume you don't have to have any kind of artistic capabilities aside from being able to draw a straight line, maybe, and not even that for that matter.
Yeah. Little curves,
Yeah, and even for example, my wife, she'll want to describe something to me, and she may draw like on my hand, for example, to give a feeling of one direction and another and whatever. But something like this would even be easier to be able to picture in my mind, I think. Actually having a true tactile representation. So I think it's awesome, really.
Thank you so much.
So
And
let's
like Matthew was saying before, like built into the device is an XY axis. And so I can like follow the XY axis. So right now I'm drawing like the X axis and the Y axis going across. I'm not doing a very good job of that, but yeah. When you're doing straight lines, it's pretty easy, but I'm doing it upside down. So this way I can actually count out my X and Y things, and that's what Matthew was explaining before. Like, so if I have -3, 7, I could count it out and place that dot here.
And
And
Braille
I could
graphs are
place
so
another
difficult
dot
to
either.
get, and this you
So
could just
then,
make up
yeah,
right away.
then you could do, you know, some advanced mathematics. And Matthew was saying how, well, you explain again, like, how did you do like graphing equations and stuff?
It was a graph board with probably maybe 100 and something tiny half-inch rubber squares, and that's all it was. And we still had to put our own string across it and make the X and Y axis with thumbtacks. And it was large and it didn't fold. And I'm in college, and it just looks. It just doesn't look. It just doesn't give a good look if a blind person's in college and using these wiki sticks and
Right. He's made his own. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I could see that and that does make a difference to us. Certain things, if we would even want to participate, if we don't have something that's easy to use.
Yeah,
So.
and it's only been recently understood that blind children who are born blind, like I was, we can't make a 3D image in our mind from a two-dimensional, from something on a paper. We can get an idea, but we can't process it the same way that someone who has seen and now doesn't can do it. But we still would like to have what we can have. I mean, we have 15 graphics a year, but a sighted person sees 15 graphics an hour. So there's a huge disparity there. What were you going to ask? You wanted to move on to something else, did you say?
Well, I'd like to talk a little bit about the foundation, because I know it does some very important work, and I'd like to find out exactly how it got started and what kind of work the foundation does, because I know you got some new stuff going on. So
right, one could say that, yes. One thing that I tried to do in the beginning was get investors, like to get people to buy this, like Shark Tank type of thing, and nobody was interested, right? Because the market's not that big or whatever, and so I started a nonprofit foundation to start raising money. And so you go through the whole trouble of building a 501c3 and getting board members together and getting people to work with you. Like Matthew has put in many, many hours without any pay. So getting that together, and slowly we raise enough money to make a prototype, and then we're able to run a Kickstarter where we sold a lot of them in advance. And then we were able to make the product, but it took years. So one thing we wanted to do with the foundation, so the mission of our foundation too, is to get these out to as many people as possible, regardless of your economic situation. So eventually we want to be able to give these away, just like here you go. Because if you can't afford it, you can't afford it.
Daniel,
right now they're for sale, for $179, which is, on AT Guys or LS&S. You could go and pick one up. But that was the other thing, is like $179 for something like this is kind of unheard of in this space, because you'd think like some people like expect it to be $400 or $500, because of all the things like drawing and redoing and there's
it wouldn't
the
surprise
blindness
me.
tax, right.
Well, Daniel,
So
what would be some other, we call it a blind and beyond piece, but what other disabilities or abilities would you feel that this device could help? I mean, you mentioned
We
tactile.
already that out. We found that a lot of people that has autism or sensory issues, they love to drag the stylus. Can you hold that up enough to where you can drag that across
Sure.
there? Across.
So just the sound and the feeling of the stylus bouncing across, that's fun. And then it's also, something that was important to me too, is to address people on the low vision spectrum, right? Because I found that like 80% of my students, maybe between 80 and 90%, had some vision that they wanted to use. So they would get real close and put their noses in the clay and everything. And so can we get something that can also be seen as well as felt? So
Right.
it's a real multi-sensory experience. But just on your point, like to get people to have that experience, I think it would be really good for people with learning disabilities and with
Agreed.
autism to do this type of thing.
And
And
as
I
my
think
bit,
everybody, like sighted people, whether you're sighted or you're blind,
Mhm.
like it could be fun just to like figure out the codes and stuff like that and
Right.
share this with a blind. Like if there's one blind student in a class of 20 students,
Right.
which happens quite a bit,
Yes.
why can't you get 10 for the classroom so that one person won't feel so alone, and they
Yes,
could play
indeed.
together and teach them some Braille. And you teach your brother Braille or your sister Braille.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Anyway,
And
getting
if
back to
you
the foundation, I really do want to cover this because I know we're running low on time.
Sure.
And
And we
one
just
of
want to
the
say,
things that happened, one of the stories that happened was
yes.
like we went through a very difficult time trying to get this produced. Like it costs a lot of money, uh, over $130,000 in investments and everything by the time you get the molds made and everything. So we got everything together and we started making the products, and we had 900 come out like beautifully, and they got shipped all over the world, like different, like 27 different countries all over the place, and people were loving them. So then we ordered 2,000 more, and we had to shift to another factory because the original mold making factory, they weren't going to keep producing like hundreds and hundreds. So we shifted to another factory, and the new factory started screwing them up. Like
oh no.
40% of the Braille doodles were coming back as poor. And
Oh.
and we couldn't sell them. Obviously we had to take them back. And we're still having to take some of those back from customers. If they got out there, we'll gladly replace them. But the point is we lost about, upwards of over $100,000. To top it off, too, when we tried to get out of the factory in China, they said, oh, you want your molds back? You want your stuff back? Well, you could give us another $10,000 and we'll let you have them back.
Oh wow.
So we were extorted to get our stuff back.
Terrible.
So right now, we're trying to get manufacturing back up and running, and we're getting there. And people love this thing. I mean, people really just have a great time with it. Teachers are enjoying it, parents are enjoying it. But, to get the manufacturing going, we have to raise the money again. So we're having a GoFundMe right now, so if you go on our website, you could go to BrailleDoodle.org. That's an easy one to remember.
B
So
R
it's
A
called,
I
yeah.
L L E Doodle
Mhm. Yep.
DOODLE.org.
Yep. Like this is the Braille Doodle because it's Braille on one side, doodling on the other, Braille Doodle.
There you go.
And it's one word actually with a capital B and a capital D. But so BrailleDoodle.org, and you could go on there, and one of the first buttons on top is to go to our GoFundMe. And it would be really cool, like just to put in $1, $5, because believe it or not, these things do add up. And it also is important to show, like we do have 60 people who have donated already, you know? So we're hoping that we're gonna make enough money because we do need like tens of thousands.
Certainly,
Really.
certainly. And
But
the other thing I just wanted to kind of take into consideration in the chat, somebody mentioned that they are aware of where Westchester, New York is. So
oh,
shout
cool.
out to, his name is Daniel as well.
Oh, wow.
And they're for W4CI. That's Dan for DAL that said hello in the chat for us, Mr.
Oh,
Hillerbrand.
okay.
Hello there, Daniel. The
So,
other Daniel.
Because the reason why I asked you about the other disabilities, and there's so many other educators, and some of our friends are in the education space. And what I got to learn at the Assistive Technology Industry Association conference, especially, was how other disabilities can overlap and we could help each other out. You mentioned the price is really reasonable, $180, guys, and a person can learn Braille at this point. And again, I really highly recommend to go to BrailleDoodle.org and give $1 or $2 at the GoFundMe, because again, you're not only just saving people in Westchester, New York. You got Florida, you got all 50 states pretty much, you got other countries as well. So, we may have thought during the pandemic that, hey, let's throw a product together, but this is actually helping people with their life, right? Their lifestyle. And
Really, and not just a learning tool for learning Braille. This is something that parents and kids can do together as projects, art, or just
we had a
friends.
blind adult, a blind father, talk about using it with his daughter, his 3-year-old daughter. His name is Anthony Ferrero, so you check out his video.
Sure.
And so that video went viral because he was talking about the way he was using it. And Anthony's so funny. He's like, I'm blind and this is the way I do laundry, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Right.
He was just so excited about this. To draw with my kid now, I get to draw with her and I get to feel what she's doing. And it went to 1 million views, to 5 million views, to 7 million views.
That's
and
fantastic.
now it's up to like 19 million views.
Well, and it's funny you said that, but yeah, I think all of us can relate to this. But I've got a little niece that every once in a while she'll make she'll want to make a picture for me, and of course, being totally blind, you kind of, if you feel bad, kind of breaks your heart. Well, I can't really see the picture, but most of the time, if they're 2 or 3 years old, you just go with it, right? But having a device like this,
you get to do it, Dave.
The youngster can actually draw a picture for you, and I can enjoy it just as much as anybody else. And I can't wait to get one to be able to show, because I'm excited to be able to feel the pictures that they're going to create for me. So, and I know that it's going to happen one of these days.
Yeah, well, I think he better move fast too, because there's only like 26 left at AT Guys, and I don't know how many LS&S, and there's going to be a little bit of a wait while we get the manufacturing back up and going, but it'll be worth it. It'll be worth it. We'll get back.
There are still a few in
the wild, as they say.
In the back, in the basement and whatever of LS&S. You think?
Yeah, and JJ at AT Guys, he's been such a great support. He's a great guy.
Awesome.
So if you go on the website, there are 2 buttons on top. The first one's GoFundMe, and the second one is Buy Now. So if you hit the Buy Now, it takes you over to AT Guys, actually.
Perfect.
So how are things going as far as getting back on, getting on your feet again, and eventually being able to start putting out these devices again?
Well, we're actually talking to some people who might have philanthropy of some type, because you're talking about $50,000 just for the molds, and that's in China. Like, some people say, wait, why don't you do it in the United States? Well, it's $150,000 here in the United States, but we would like to produce it maybe someday in the United States. So we've talked to like Louisiana Lighthouse and stuff like that to maybe produce it here.
There you go.
Put blind people to work, that would be great too.
Absolutely.
The just
Go ahead, Matthew.
so
Go
that
ahead.
so that people understand, and Daniel explained this to me. These are not molds that I can just hand across the table to you.
It's not Play-Doh.
If this mold falls on you, you've died.
You die.
Yeah. They're heavy pieces.
That's a good way to put it, Matthew. I like that.
This is a big, huge
block of steel that, once they're cut out, they can make 1 million. And that was the idea, is like, what can we do to make tens of thousands of this? I mean, I was able to travel over to India, and what an incredible country, people, but there's such a need over there. There are millions of people who are blind and low vision. For some reason,
2 million
they have like the,
is the statistic for blind, and for North Americans, Canada and U.S. included, it's about $2 trillion worth of money that most companies leave behind to not make products for the blind. I mean, making anything accessible, period. And so I just wanted to ask Matthew, what is some things that we may have not covered today, but we would love to even have you, back up as a guest alone. But what is something that from your experiences that you've had so far that you want to share with our audience?
Well, I'm also a teacher. I've taught blind and visually impaired adults. It's going to be 15 years this year.
Oh, wow.
Out here.
We got to have you back on air, but definitely please let us a little bit more about what you would like our audience to know about you, and anything that we left behind for today's conversation.
Maybe what else would you might use the BrailleDoodle for as well?
Let's say graphing, art, and you just, as I said, positive and negative impressions on this. So, bring up all the ball bearings and then press them down with your fingers to make the impressions that way as well. But the items, the thing that you make on one side does not affect what's on the other. So you can practice your Braille, flip it over, do a little bit of art, flip it back over, and keep practicing your Braille. So one side doesn't affect the other side.
Very nice.
Very good to know. Thank you. And one more time before I get the pad and the touch and all these words, how do I put them together again?
Touchpad Pro Foundation.
The Touchpad Pro Foundation. But I think the easiest way to learn it now is BrailleDoodle, because if you Google BrailleDoodle, we're pretty.
Well, you know what? I get an email from this thing called BrailleDoodle, and I look out on my emails, and I heard that you guys met some musician. The other day. Yeah. You wanna quickly kind of give us a snippet on that?
I was at CSUN, and I turned around, and I was actually there with Dave, with Tactile Engineering.
Hillerbrand? He's over here. No, he's in Florida.
No, not
the other
Dave Hillerbrand.
Sorry.
The other Dave with
Yes,
Cadence. Yeah.
Yes.
So Dave and I are sort of like trying to partner up now, because we think about like how cool would it be to start off with something like BrailleDoodle and then move on to something like Cadence that is like amazing because it's all moving around and able to do instant graphs and graphics and all of these things and multi-lines of Braille. So, and I know he's
a little similarities
supporter of you guys. So definitely. I turn around and Stevie Wonder is there talking to Dave.
Hey, and Dave Hillerbrand, do you know who that is?
Oh, yeah.
Stevie Wonder? And I was like blown away. I'm like, okay, I got to talk to Steve. I've met him before, but I've never really talked to him. So this time he, I was able to show him the BrailleDoodle, and he came up and we actually talked for a little while. I mean, my knees were shaking. I was like, this is Stevie Wonder, man. I've been a Stevie Wonder fan since I was like a little kid.
Right. Yeah, me too.
So
all my work and hard efforts, I got this thing. I'm talking to Stevie.
Yeah, I get this. This is you use this stylus, and you bring up the. Yeah, I like this. And I was like, he likes it. He likes it. Stevie Wonder likes it. So now, I have videos out there now. Stevie Wonder likes the BrailleDoodle.
Sorry, could you repeat that into the microphone, sir?
Yeah.
I'm with you. No, you get somebody like that's
Well, Mr.
spokesman
Stevie
for
Wonder,
you.
you're welcome to come onto the Blind and Beyond show anytime. So
Yep.
if you're listening, maybe you're watching Mr. Daniel and Matthew talk about the BrailleDoodle, and you might have caught Dave Schleppenbach second episode. So if you're watching, come on by, sir. You're more than welcome to come onto the Blind and Beyond show. Well, Dave Hillerbrand, today it's been a wealth of information. We just want to say thank you again to Daniel and Matthew. It is Touchpad Pro Foundation with, if you remember, just keep it simple, BrailleDoodle.org. If you go there, please consider giving $1, $5, maybe, I don't know, whatever you got to give.
5,000,
5,000,
20,000.
yeah. Because we're trying to help our community, right? Because that's why we brought Daniel here. And Daniel, again, thank you so much for your time. And
it's been a blast. I really enjoyed this.
not a problem. And we hope you come back. Give us all his feedback. And if we're not doing something right, that goes for you too. Just let us know if we're not doing something that you don't like. Can you do this better? And we'll try our best.
Definitely give us some feedback as to how things are going with the foundation, and how close you are to getting to your goal and stuff.
So where
we'd
can
love
they
to
find
get
you
some
next?
updates.
Actually, you talked about conventions. Where do they find you next?
Oh, where do they find me next? I definitely think we're going NFB. We like that
Austin,
one.
Texas, eh? Okay.
Yeah. NFB in July.
And then June, you got the Division United. That's with the Foundation Fighting Blindness. They're doing one in, I think, Dallas, Fort Worth.
Right.
Florida, we got in May. We have the Florida Council of the Blind, us being in Florida. So we welcome you at any point if you're interested to join us for the Florida Council of the Blind. And
we've been at ACB. We went to Germany and Sight City. That's the great thing. Is like this is worldwide now. So
and we'll stay in touch. I'm glad that we have each other's contacts if we need to talk to India, because again, there's 2 million people in India that are not getting the needs and wants of having tools like such as the BrailleDoodle. So if I could help in any way, please do stay in touch. And again, Matthew, it was a pleasure talking to you and listening to your stories and journey. So thank you so much to the Touchpad Foundation and BrailleDoodle, BrailleDoodle.org.
We'll catch you again soon. Thanks so much for joining us,
Take care, guys. I am going to take off and get some work done and try to raise more money.
There you go. You're going to do it, my friend.
All right, Matthew. I'll talk to you soon.
It's going to happen, Daniel, so be ready.
Yep. I think so.
All right. Thanks again, guys.
No problem. Take care.
And, of course, you are tuned in to the Blind and Beyond show here on YouTube with Dave and Harshid, and we've got another special guest coming up here in just a second. Good friend of mine, Asli Goncer. I'm sorry, I'm getting all tongue-tied there.
Yep.
Asli here in Orlando, an amazing musician, songwriter, and she worked on the shuttle. Audio now unmuted. Speech off. That's right, speech off.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, we got her. Hey there, Asli. Good to have you with us.
Good to be here. Good to hear your voice again. We've played together before and stuff, and had a good time with that as musicians. So
indeed, likewise. And one of these days we'll make the necessary adjustments so that we actually can do a little playing here on YouTube. But there are a few little technical obstacles. We've got to do some tweaking before we can do that. But definitely appreciate you joining us. And just for those who don't know, we go through Zoom and then transmit it onto YouTube and into your home. So that's how it works. So as I did for Daniel, the first obligatory question: what is your favorite color?
Well, I tell people my favorite color is red because when I was a kid and I could see, that was my favorite color.
Well, there you go. See, that still works, though. I ask it for blind people or sighted. Either way,
What's funny about me though is most people know that the thing I have is more the color I hate, which is pink. So
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. See, now that's something I didn't know about you. That's good. That's good to know. And even more importantly is to stay away from that color.
Right. Even though I can't see it anymore, I still don't like it.
That's right. Well,
Dave, the button is red, right? We learned the button is red.
exactly.
Are all
She
buttons
knows.
red, Asli? Are all buttons red?
All buttons, right?
No, you
Only
probably
the ones you're not supposed to push, right?
exactly that warning. That's the ejector button. Is the
Yeah,
big
exactly.
is the big red one. So you mentioned that you are you totally blind now? Is that correct?
Yes, I am totally blind now. I occasionally can tell if I'm outside and it's daylight, I know it's daylight versus dark, but occasionally I can see if a light's on in a room or not, but generally not so much anymore. So
Right. That's me too. That's exactly I can occasionally see a light on in a room, but not
Right.
anything overly useful. So, if you would, let's go back a little bit to your childhood, and I know that you are originally from Turkey, so you might talk about that and growing up in Turkey, and also about your vision situation, or how you became blind, and how that how that transition works. So we'll start from the beginning and work our way up, if you don't mind. From your childhood, were you able to see from the beginning, or?
yes, yes, I was sighted. I was born in Turkey, but we moved here when I was 2. So I've been back to visit relatives, but I didn't really grow up in Turkey per se. I grew up in the
Gotcha.
U.S. And in fact, we moved to Florida when I was 7, and so I've lived in Florida since I was 7 years old. So I've been in this area quite a long time. Not Orlando necessarily. I lived in Jacksonville and then went to high school and came down to Orlando to go to UCF to go to college, and have been here ever since.
I think I can officially dub thee a Floridian at this
Yeah.
point. So you're
There you
close
go.
enough. I'm a born Floridian, so I feel I can proclaim you as a adopted Floridian at least. So
Well, that works. Yeah.
What
So
high
you went-
school
you-
was that? Is that Jacksonville?
What's that?
For high school?
Yeah, I went to high school in Jacksonville. Went to actually all school. Elementary school, the junior high and high school, all in Jacksonville, Florida.
Fantastic.
And came here to go to UCF.
So what was your major at UCF?
I was an electrical engineering major. I have a degree in electrical engineering. And
Awesome.
after graduating, I started working at the Space Center, working on the shuttle program. Not directly for NASA. I was actually working for Lockheed Space Operations Company. And it was a great job. I was crawling around the space shuttle, running lines down. As an electrical engineer, I was fixing sensors. I was instrumentation engineer specifically. So I did a lot of crawling around the shuttle and running down lines to make sure things were working, and testing pressure sensors and strain gauges and all kinds of different things, sensors wise, on the shuttles.
and here now as a guitar player, you're judging strings gauges in a different way, right?
That's right. Yeah.
Very
It's still an
interesting how
instrument,
that.
Dave. It's still an instrument.
That's right.
Interesting how that makes a total turnaround there. So
Yeah. Well, I mean,
So-
the thing in the shuttle program, I was working and doing all that, but I was 26 when I had to stop driving, and shortly thereafter was pronounced legally blind. I have a genetic disorder called cone rod dystrophy, so my vision kind of declined. But at the point I stopped driving, it declined quickly. I was legally blind within a couple of years. Maybe even less than, maybe it was only a year and a half or so.
For people,
And I started using a cane, and little by little, as my vision degraded, I had to start using things like zoom text and then JAWS and magnifying glasses. But basically, I moved from crawling around the shuttle because they said, hey, we don't know I used to sit in the firing room. If you ever watch launches, you see people sitting at computers watching for a launch and talking to the test conductors. I used to do that. But they pretty much said, we don't know if we want a blind engineer on station and have the press go crazy that we have blind engineers working on the shuttle program. So I ended up transitioning to software. I was already teaching the people in my group how to use the computer. And because this was the early 90s where the people that had been there a long time didn't really grow up with computers, and I went to college using computers, so I was teaching them how to use the computers. So I started teaching all of engineering, but then eventually got to where I'm like, oh, I could write this better. So I started into the software development side of things because the computer talks to me. So that's what I do now. I'm a software developer.
Oh, very
So
nice.
who's talking to you there? You say your computer talks?
Yes.
Well, what does it say? What is,
And how often do you hear these
The
things?
voices in my head. They're always around, you know. But yeah, so I was able, luckily with the technology, you know, had I gone blind maybe even 10 years before that, I might have not been able to continue working like I did, you know. So luckily with the technology that was available, I was able to keep working, and I'm still working today. I don't work on the shuttle program anymore. Obviously it was, shut down. I then worked for the Delta IV rocket program for a while, but actually I worked for 20 years at the Space Center, and then I got laid off. The entire department got laid off once they were shutting down all the shuttle program and things like that. So
Sure.
now I'm working for Department of Veterans Affairs, still doing software though.
Oh, very nice. Well, they need the help, that's for sure. So, but what type of software are you writing for them?
Mostly Java software. And these days I'm actually the team lead, so I'm writing more technical documents and going to meetings and explaining how things can work, or getting requirements from people on how things can work, and leading the team itself. I'm doing more of that these days than programming, just because somebody's got to keep track of all that stuff.
This is true. It's all important. You mentioned you were originally an electrical engineer, and
Yeah.
I'm wondering, when you after losing your vision, have you ever experimented trying to do soldering as a blind person? I've heard of people doing it before, and so I'm curious.
No. No.
Yeah.
pull my soldering
I don't
gun
want to
out?
burn my fingers.
Well, and that's the reason why I have not experimented with
Yeah.
it either. I guess
Dave,
it's
not
maybe
over here, over there. Dave, over there.
yeah.
Solder over there. Not over here.
For those people that I guess that are not as concerned about their using their fingers for other things,
Yeah.
they don't mind taking a chance. But
The
no,
guitar players don't want to solder their fingers. I mean,
yeah.
Ouch.
But there are some of those super super blind folks that are able to do some soldering. I from what I understand. So maybe
true.
we'll have to talk to them for their secrets at some point.
But Asla, so you've come through. You mentioned you had sight with having cone rod dystrophy. What were your challenges? Let's say, as far as education coming out of high school and all of elementary, all of that, secondary school, to then later on in college, being that technology is ever changing, and when you were studying.
luckily, I was sighted through all of that. I even started working at the Space Center. I was sighted.
Okay.
It wasn't until I was 26 that I had to stop driving, and then things started going down from there. So,
But with
had to
that,
learn a
that
lot.
plunge, was that kind of a like that
What's that?
pivot at age 26 when you took that pivot?
Yeah.
Were there a lot of things that were challenging, or was it more of, oh, okay, I got to do this a different way, rather than, this is a challenge, I don't know if I could do this?
You know-
Even emotionally, not necessarily
Yeah.
just with the technology, but I would imagine it would be, difficult for after you've developed a career and someone comes along and tells you, hey, you're not going to be able to do it quite the same way here anyway. So.
No, that's absolutely true. There was that position of time when, like I said, I was using a lot of magnifying glasses and whatever I could do to keep doing the job I was doing as an electrical engineer. But then over time, it just got to be, I couldn't read the schematics anymore. There was nothing I could do to make it so I could see it. So I had to pivot. It was difficult emotionally as well as, I had to learn. I was a visual learner. I had to learn how to listen and learn. And that became a challenge. And because
Where did you pick up your skills for accessibility and technology and stuff like that? Because I'm sure you had to pick up some well, Zoom text and
Yeah,
JAWS and all that. Where'd
JAWS.
you learn that?
Yeah. Zoom text I learned on my own, just playing with it. JAWS I started to learn on my own, but then I did eventually go to Lighthouse and take a class, but it wasn't. It was just a few weeks, just to get the basics started, and then
Right.
I did the rest myself.
Well,
But yeah, it's a lot to learn.
it's a lot to learn, and it's a change of mindset, right? Because when you're magnification, the way your eyeballs are getting information back to your brain and how you process it, to now you have this thing talking to you, but if it's talking too slow, even now for me, it's like, okay, I don't have all day. Hurry up and give me that information that I'm seeking.
Yes.
So, because people will say, "Oh, you could hear that, you could understand that. It talks so fast."
I
Do you
get
get
that a lot
you get
too.
that?
Yeah,
You
well,
do?
yeah. Actually, what I get is, what language is that? And I tell them it's English, it's just fast. So, yeah.
Oh boy, yeah, and even
But
even in other countries, like I went to India, is similar. But aside from this, what are some other activities or other things that people should know about you specifically? Like, who's Asla?
Well, I mean, I am a musician. That's probably one of my big parts of my
Ooh,
life.
okay. What instrument, please?
I play several instruments, actually. I started on piano. I played French horn in the marching band and in the brass ensembles and in various wind instrument ensembles through high school and college. I played French horn. And
Awesome.
then later I started playing guitar, and pretty much nowadays you see me mostly on guitar.
Hmm.
But I also play bass. I also play drums. So
Sweet.
Have you ever tried going back to any of the wind instruments? I know
You
it's
know,
been a little while, but
I still pick up. I have a flugelhorn and I have a French horn, and every now and then I'll pull it out and just play. But of course now I can't read the music, so I played in brass ensembles as long as I could, magnifying. Even after I graduated from college, I was playing in a Rollins brass ensemble, magnifying the music as much as I could. But eventually, if you can't see the music, you can't really play in the ensemble
Hey,
because
Dave.
mostly it's sight reading. It's not like they would learn pieces and where I could go memorize it or something. It was stuff they would do for sight reading.
Dave, do you
So
think you and Asla could use a cadence to show you music?
well, I was going to mention, the cadence tablet's one of those things that you could
Yeah.
use where even if you don't know Braille or
Yeah.
or know Braille music, you literally could have raised print type music or whatever kind of whatever you would call that standard music just embossed. So I've never experimented with it before, but I think it would be
I mean,
very
as a
interesting.
drummer, is it a 16th note or a paradiddle, but whatever you're playing, I mean, if you
Right.
figure out the notes, I suppose it'll take long, but
Now, here's the thing, like what Oslo was saying, though, as far
Yeah.
as there's no way that we're going to be able to do sight music or reading while playing because our hands are going to be tied up playing the instrument.
exactly.
So that's the only difficulty. But certainly, learning music ahead of time.
Yeah.
Of course, there is Braille music, but also with the help of the cadence, and even believe it or not, the BrailleDoodle could be used for representing music. So something I would like to experiment with. But I know that you do some songwriting.
I'm a songwriter, and I play mostly by ear. If I do play other instruments, if I'm playing along with somebody, I play by ear. I hear what they're doing, and I know, Dave, you do that too. But yes, I am a songwriter as well. I write my own music. So
Yeah, so I'd love to find out how what inspires you. How you decide to jump on a particular kind of music. Do you decide ahead of time, or does something? Do you force yourself to sit down for 2 hours and write a song, or do you just approach it when something mentally hits you?
I think I probably should do what you first said, which is force myself to sit down and write a couple hours every other day or something. But I don't do that. I do kind of, when I get the chance. I am so busy with so many different things, and I can get to that later. Is all the different things I'm a part of. But when I do sit down to write, it's more about, okay, what's inspiring me to write something right now. Sometimes it's a phrase that I've heard or whatever. Sometimes there's a group of us that get together and come up with prompts for one another, like challenges to say, write a song that has these 4 words in it, or write a song that has the chord structure of 1, 4, 5, 2 minor or something. Or one time we did an interesting challenge where we took the letters of our name and figured out what notes those would be, because like an S, is not going to be a real letter, right, or a real note, but you can count up the scale and figure out, okay, what would an S be? And we wrote songs where we used the chords that spelled out our names. So
That's cool, and that way you can kind of get out of the box and something that you may not have written otherwise,
Yeah, and like the 4-word songs are definitely always been good ways to get, use the 4 words anywhere in the song you like. It's not like it's it's just a way to prompt you to write something, So.
What about the different styles of music, just in general? Do you have a certain style that you prefer, or even a certain style that you stay away from, for example?
Yeah, I don't know that I would say that. I mean, it depends on the song. So I've written some blues songs. I've written some, kind of more poppier songs, a lot of folky kind of sounding songs, or a little bit more jazzy kind of songs. Nothing, it's kind of a blend of those things that I guess that I enjoy, right? So I don't know that I say that I stay away from any style, but I end up writing the style that fits whatever the mood of the song is that I'm wanting to write.
I'm with you, and especially when you enjoy a lot of different styles of music, of course.
Yeah.
You're going to have a lot of different
exactly.
different influences, from classical to gospel and everything in between. So
that's true. And learning as a child, learning piano, of course, it was all classical. That's how you learn piano, right? They start you out with classical music. So, well, and even French horn, when I was doing that in high school and college, a lot of unless it's marching band, you're playing in classical music and symphonic band and concert band and those kind of things.
Sure.
Orchestras. Yeah.
Now, do you have any musicians that you look up to specifically, guitar players and/or singers?
I like a lot of different musicians. You're talking about like influences from artists that I know, something like that.
Mhm. Yes.
So I have always loved Elton John and Billy Joel, both piano players. I've also a big fan of the Indigo Girls and the style that they write. Also a big fan of John Mayer as a guitar player. Just love the way he plays. And so it's kind of a mixed bag for me of people that I love to hear and often go back to listen to again, and they do inspire me. So even like Toad the Wet Sprocket, Gin Blossoms, some of those 90s bands, I like that music.
Yeah.
You have been able to attend any concerts in person of any of your favorites?
Oh, sure. I think all the ones I mentioned, I've been to concerts of theirs. So, except Toad the Wet Sprocket. I have to say, they were not around that long. So I didn't get a chance to see them.
I heard that they did some. They are doing things here and there. I've heard of their name. So
well, yeah, I'll have to show you at some point. Asli, years ago, I actually opened for that group at Rollins College.
What a small world.
It was, and I have not opened for that many big groups, but strangely enough, our band at the time was playing Earth Day at Rollins College.
Awesome.
And they did, and Toe the Wet Sprocket was just kind of, they were well known, but actually lesser known to me. So I wasn't so much in awe because I wasn't as familiar with their
wicked cool
music
name of a
except
band.
for like one tune. But anyway, that I think they're cool too. Some neat harmonies and stuff. So
Yeah. I love harmonies. When I perform solo, but I also perform with the band Jane Gang Unleashed, which is us 3 women, and we harmonize, and we're all 3 songwriters. So sometimes I'm singing, with sometimes they are.
You got to tell the story behind Jane Gang Unleashed, the name of the band.
You know what? What if I play you the song so then you learn it that way?
Okay, well that would be excellent. I'll tell you what, that's perfect because we're gonna, if you are up to doing that, and then we're gonna take a short break and we'll come back
Okay.
and talk a whole lot more. But we got time to talk about Jane Gang Unleashed. I love that, and if you're up for it, let's
Wow.
hear from
I'll play a song here that
Asli.
if you're ready for that now. I'm just getting my guitar on here. Let me get it.
Absolutely.
And I know you guys can't see it, but this is the lava guitar that I was telling you about. It's a carbon fiber guitar. Before the show started, we talked a little about it. You hearing that okay?
Yes.
All right.
Yes, we can hear it. Hey.
This is the first blues song I wrote, by the way. She's got reddish hair, so touchably soft. She doesn't use hair gel or style it at all. She doesn't like clothing, well I guess it binds too much. She doesn't like shoes, but when she wears them she struts. She's got those eyes, yeah, make it melt inside. That's my Jane. She wears a big chain with dangling bling. She prances around me like she's just the thing. Sometimes she wears leathers with a leash for me to hold. She pulls me around, yeah, well you know she is bold. Her body is fit, yeah, and she knows it. That's my Jane. You know that I love her, I'll never let her go. She's something special, everybody knows. When my friends come over, she knows they come for her. She acts like a queen, she's not your average girl. Oh no, no. She always turns heads, the gals and the guys. They just want to touch her, well that's no surprise. She craves my attention and she whines when she is bored. She's picky about food, yeah, but she'll eat off the floor. It's not so wrong, yeah, she's my lovely dog. That's my Jane.
All right.
Thank you.
There you go.
Hey, Brenda's giving you a standing ovation too, by the way.
Thanks, Brenda.
So Jane is
First
your guide dog.
My first guide dog, yeah. I have another one now who's whining over here. But
She's bored currently too, so you're gonna have to write a song about her in a little bit, perhaps.
yeah, his name's Murphy, so he's gonna have a song eventually. I just don't have it yet. I'm gonna call it.
Murphy.
What are you talking about?
I like that.
I
Murphy's
may have to
Law,
take him
maybe.
outside during the break.
There is something about Murphy's Law, so you might be able to work that in
Dave,
there
I
somewhere.
think Murphy's saying that we should go on a break because he wants to go out too.
I think so.
Yeah.
I hate to
There
say
you go. Well, I think that's a good idea, and we will start off with a little musical interlude. We'll be back in just a couple minutes with Asli. This is Dave and Hersh with the Blind and Beyond Show on YouTube.
The revolutionary Cadence Tactile Tablet is your gateway to a new world of electronic access and communication. At Touchable, we're dedicated to bringing the Cadence tablet's true multi-line braille, tactile animation, and powerful learning tools to the worldwide blind community. The Cadence tablet is shipping today and available for purchase at the Touchable online store. Visit gotouchable.com.
Lynn, I'm looking for the lid to the container for the tuna fish. I want to put the tuna fish in the container, but I can't find the lids.
Michael, the lid is under the toaster oven.
Oh, Lynn, come on now. This is ridiculous. What a joke. Lynn, if you would have gotten Mr. Lid, their lids are attached to the containers. This wouldn't be happening, Lynn.
All right, Michael, I'll go to MrLid.com and we'll get organized.
Thank you.
Guide Dogs for the Blind believes everyone deserves to live the life they want to live and to move through the world safely and confidently. That's why we offer a variety of programs at no cost to our clients. We match people who are blind or visually impaired in the U.S. and Canada with exceptional guide dogs. Guide Dogs for the Blind also provides a free orientation and mobility immersion program for people interested in learning the skills relevant to guide dog mobility. And our K9 Buddy program matches select dogs who are not suited to be guide dogs to be pets for people who are blind or visually impaired, including children and their families and adults of all ages. All of this is made possible by our generous donors and the help of thousands of incredible volunteers. To learn more about our life-changing mission, please visit guidedogs.com or call 800-295-4050.
There's so many days where I just want to pretend I'm not going blind, and I can't. With retinitis pigmentosa, the unknown is everlasting. What I want most is to stop this in its tracks. It all really boils down to my family, seeing my beautiful wife, seeing my kids. If only I could have more time. My hope here with the Foundation Fighting Blindness is to drive towards a cure. Donate now or get involved at fightingblindness.org.
Well, all right, we are back. This is the Blind and Beyond show with Dave and Hersh, and we've got Miss Asli. And we were just talking about some really cool stuff that Asla's doing and about her.
I mean, it's beyond cool, dude.
It is beyond cool.
Come on, spaceships. I mean, what was the coincidence that she actually worked on the shuttle? Just saying.
Yeah, she was on a spaceship.
Yeah, she was. Yeah, I'm just saying. But let's go back to. I'm gonna go ask her a few more questions because.
Hey, before you ask her some more questions, I think Brenda said we might have a problem.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's coming back up.
Oh, okay. So there was. There we go. All is good.
Yeah, and by the way, if you want to reach out to us out here, who's who? Well, I'm talking. No, you're talking. Dave, who are you? Dave, you want to let the audience know who you are again? They don't know who this Blind and Beyond show is.
Yeah, exactly. I'm Dave Hillerbrand, and this is Hershey Trivedi, and
yeah, that's me.
And of course, you know who you are, audience. By the way, Brenda tells me that that our buddy Daniel. Where is he again? Edgewater.
So Daniel is in the Central Florida area, and again, I was so
near
happy.
The beach.
Yeah, exactly, and a ham radio operator.
Yeah, so Daniel's asking for information about the BrailleDoodle for his school. So
that's what I mean. We
will certainly get that.
Daniel, I told you.
Yep. So we're going to definitely get that to him. So let's get back to
Sure.
to Miss Asli because I want to find out all about.
But we do want to shout out our audience, and hey, maybe Miss Asli might come to your campus and talk about her journey. I don't know. Maybe she might be interested. We'll ask her. Do you want me to ask her?
Well, we can
Maybe
we
we'll
can
ask her.
ask, but we'll find out.
Right, because I mean, inspiration to the kids, I think, is so important these days. Because again,
I know she
doesn't
likes
matter.
to play a lot of different places, and so
Right.
So I'd like to talk to her about that. So Asli, you were talking about playing with the Jane Gang Unleashed, and I like the Unleashed part. So
Well, you know what? I heard some kind of name. Maybe y'all could clarify for me. Daring Sisters? Huh?
What
Yeah,
is
that's
that
what I
again?
said. Daring Sisters? Fill me in.
Daring, yes.
Yeah, you see, Miss Asla, if you'd like, please. What does that mean? Aha! I
think-
forgot. Asla's friend, Mr. Murphy, is a little busy. So, anyway, that's fine.
Yes,
Murphy,
I
you
think-
take your time, buddy. Don't worry about it. You're good.
Yeah, she may have had to take a break for Murphy.
And we'll find out what. because
Murphy may need to take a walk.
I'm not going to take a bet here, but I'm going to say that's a German Shepherd. I'm just going to take a bet on it. I don't know why I feel that way. Maybe I'm a dog lover, which I am, but we'll come back to that in a second.
Yeah, not as many German Shepherds as guide dogs as. I hear Miss Asli is back. So Murphy has made his rounds.
No
Actually,
worries,
can you
we'll-
guys hear me okay? Or
Oh yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
we'll let you get settled in there. And
let me see if I get. I'm not
sorry,
in
we're
the
just
same
yapping
place.
away. And
What happened was I took Murphy out.
Uh-huh.
I came back just as you were saying, and now we're back. My phone died,
oops.
and
I've been there too often.
yeah, and I didn't think it was gonna. It was like at 100% when we started the show, but obviously
Oh, yeah.
it died quickly after because I did sit through the other interview listening, which was
Some
great.
hot conversation there, you know.
We appreciate you for taking the time again to sit through both conversations. And again, we
Yeah, it
just
can
had
zap
just
the
mentioned
phone.
to the people out there about Daniel actually has a school out here, and I was kind of blabbermouthing. And if you're interested ever, other kids could always be inspired. And you've worked on some incredible parts of your life, you know, with being the space industry is number one, but where you are right now. And I was reading through the email the other day, and the thing kind of stuck out for me personally, which was Daring Sisters. So I was telling Dave here, I was like, huh, what does that mean? And Dave was like, huh, back at me. And now I'm like saying, huh? So could you explain what Daring Sisters is?
I think that Miss Asli may have some technical difficulties, but
Okay.
the Daring Sisters, I do believe, is a group that she will soon tell us
Okay.
about.
Aha, there we go.
Can you hear
okay.
me now? I had
Yes,
to
I
get the
can.
video started. Sorry, I
No
had
problem.
to switch to my laptop, so I'm actually in a different room.
Well,
I'm
you
so
were pretty
sorry.
slick there to do all that. You're doing good, girl.
Dave,
Well, I
man,
just-
she's a software engineer, man. Leave her alone, man.
Just feel bad that it messed up the flow there because I was all ready to get back into it. Anyway,
We're always in it. If not, we could go grab your guitar if you feel comfy. If the guitar is close by, don't mind at all.
Hey, you've just proved that you can do things on the
Multitask.
fly. That's the thing. When things go wrong, she's ready to jump into Plan B at a moment's notice. So
that's what I did. I don't know how the video looks now because, like I said, I'm in a different room. But anyway,
Uh,
sorry
well,
about that.
don't worry if the video's not
If you
good.
wanted to
Brenda
look
will
at
let us
her,
know.
rewind the tape. She's fine. See?
All right, good.
It is not.
Oh, it is not.
It is
Yeah,
not
she's
good.
not. She's not seeing.
All I can see is you.
Very good. Well, so she's.
Okay.
You don't have her brought up at the moment, Hersh. It sounds like.
Or Hirsch. You're the only one.
I'm the only one right now. Hello, Mom. No, so that's all right. Well, Hirsch can work on that, but we can still be
Yeah,
talking
sure.
anyway. So
Yeah, sure. You want to know about the guide dog issue or the situation, or moving on to the?
Well,
Please feel wherever you feel comfortable.
You can fill me in on the dogs, but then I would like to find out about the group of ladies that you get together with, the national group, which sounds very interesting.
Yeah.
So.
Well, just to close out the thing with the guide dogs, Jane was my first guide dog, and I actually didn't name the band Jane Ganglish. One of my friends said, it's like we're Jane's gang, because when we'd come over, she was always so excited.
Right.
So that's how it became the Jane Gang, and then we added the Unleashed later. And here comes my other guide dog that caused the problems to go outside. That's Murphy. But anyway, I'll tell you a little bit about Daring Sisters. I'm actually wearing a t-shirt from them, which is funny because it's kind of a joke in the sense that it's a solid teal color shirt, but it has little raised like beads that spell out Daring Sisters in Braille. So somebody that can't see can't know I was wearing that, and somebody that can see doesn't know what it says. So it's perfect.
I was going to say, if someone can't see is able to read that, then they're getting much more involved. Yeah, they're getting into your personal space. That is for sure.
Exactly.
Doesn't the guitar go wee or something?
But the Daring Sisters is an organization. It's a 501c3 organization, so they do raise money. But the idea is that there are blind women across the country that are part of this organization. It's about 175 of us now or so. And we get together in retreats that are anywhere from 12 to 15 people or so. And during the day, we go do activities like we go kayaking or hiking, or at the National Ability Center, there's a big challenge ropes course. We go do that. We've also played goal ball, and so different, tandem biking, different types of activities that we do during the day. And in the evenings, we get together and chat about what challenges people are going through as a blind person and what it takes to, get through everything day after day. And sometimes we give each other advice on what we can do to help. So once you've gone to a retreat, whether it's there are virtual retreats as well that do just the talking part and not the activities, since it's virtual. But once you've gone to a retreat, you're officially a member of Daring Sisters, and then there's a lot of different organizations within the organization. Like there's book clubs, and there's like 2 book clubs. There's a yoga class that happens once a month. There's a group that I lead called Live Your Brave, where we get together and talk about challenges we're facing, and also we congratulate each other for overcoming obstacles and challenges. And there's also other groups that get together and talk different times of the month. So once you're part of the Daring Sisters, it opens up all these different options to you and the ability to go to any of the retreats and join in. So
how long has Daring Sisters been around? Do you know?
It started in 2016, so we're having a 10-year reunion this year. I joined in 2022, but the organization started in 2016, and it was started by Becky Andrews. She lives in Bountiful, Utah, and she started it as a way to get blind. She herself is blind, but she's a therapist also, and she was started as a way to get together blind women to talk about their issues and help one another, but also because she thought it would be a good way to get more friends that are blind, to hang out with and do stuff with.
Sure.
So all of that, just
it's partially a social organization, but just as much, it's also kind of therapeutic and.
Absolutely. Well, you have to overcome challenges to go to a meeting or go to a retreat, and then
just the transportation to get there can be a challenge, I'm sure.
Yeah, some people that come to these retreats, it's the first time they've flown by themselves across the country or whatever.
Miss Asli, so if people want to find out more about the women around in Central Florida, around whoever's watching tonight, where could they find out more information if they would like?
About the Daring Sisters group, that is.
Yeah, I think if you search for Daring Sisters or Daring Sisters and Becky Andrews, it'll certainly come up. But I think the website is simply daringsisters.com or .org. I guess I should check that for sure, but it's not coming to me because I have it bookmarked. I don't I don't
Not a
type it in
problem.
anymore.
Just to give a resource for our community if they're
I can
interested.
certainly look it up at some point and get it
Yeah,
to
no
you.
problem.
We'll find out before
We'll
we
look it up.
before we get off here anyway.
Yeah, okay.
It's bound to be one of the other .com or .org anyway.
Yeah.
So,
And
but it sounds like a very worthwhile organization for sure. And
absolutely.
It certainly changed a lot of lives as far as getting people to realize when they meet other people that are blind and going through the similar challenges, you tell people, hey, I'm having this issue, and they understand because they've gone through it too.
right. Now, I don't know about you, but I've found, especially at organizations like Lighthouse, learning the skills, learning, computer skills and mobility and whatever is important, of course, to get a job. But those skills of learning to deal with losing vision and also knowing that other people are going through the same thing. A lot of times that is sometimes they drop the ball in that area, and I think that's something that's huge that you guys are doing.
Yeah, and the fact that we have the activities, like I said, that I'm sure that some of these people were thinking, oh, I'll never be able to do that, kayaking again or whatever. And, we work it out with an organization that has guides that help us out. And I've been kayaking by myself on those events a couple of times now. And it's interesting, kayaking by sound, hey, Asli over here, and paddle, paddle, paddle. Hey, Asli over here, paddle. So it's fun, but it gives you the opportunity to do something that you may not have been able to do.
And consider that it's doable, right? It's accessible. It's
exactly. It makes it doable. Exactly.
And so you learn how to flip your kayak over again and all that stuff.
I actually haven't flipped my kayak, so I luckily haven't had to do that. But
I gotcha. Well, it may happen at some point, but there's a technique I understand that.
Yeah, to get back over. This isn't one of those kayaks where your legs are caught underneath and you're, like they do in the
Gotcha.
whitewater rapids type. It's not that kind of kayak. It's open. If you fall out, you're separated from the kayak.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
One
better
thing
come
that I
back
could
for you.
understand in here is like life is what I underline, that you live life to the fullest.
Right.
And with that said, there's some skiing that comes along with it. What's that about?
So there's an organization called Ski for Light. It's a different organization.
Light. Okay. Life and light.
Light,
Man.
as in, yeah. I see
Screen
the light.
readers, you know those things?
But Ski for Light is an organization that's also a nonprofit, and their purpose is to bring people together, and they teach blind people to cross-country ski. And it's an amazing event. I went for the first time this year in February, and they bring together, this event was huge. It's just the sheer magnitude of organization that had to happen to make this happen was amazing.
And where was that held?
This year it was held in Colorado, in Granby, Colorado, at Snow Mountain Ranch. It moves from place to place. Next year it's going to be at Yellowstone. And like this year there was, I think, like 270 people there or something like that, or 300 or so people there. 130 or so of them were blind people, and then there's another. This is not just blind; it's also mobility. There were people in wheelchairs there too.
Wow!
For every impaired person that was either blind or mobility impaired, there was a sighted guide for each person. So that's where it gets to be like 300 people.
See, 130 times 2. Carry on, sorry.
Yeah.
Trying to be smart here.
Yeah.
You're an incredible woman.
He had to take off his shoes there. He was counting up.
But I mean, that's
what
people,
I'd have to do.
And then there are people there that are sighted that are just helping organize. They had it organized to the point where during the day we were, skiing, cross-country skiing, but at night there was always events like seminars going on there was an hour between, after skiing and before dinner, where that hour there was probably 3 or 4 seminars going on at any given time, and you can go choose which one you want to go to. And there's seminars about all kinds of different concepts, not just cross country skiing or not just blindness, but it's because the participants are bringing in their, expertise and telling you about what they do. There was a seminar, for example, about a woman that was a emergency dispatcher for like police dispatcher, and she's completely blind, and she talked about how she does her job and played some tapes from that. There was another.
Oh, that would have been cool.
Yeah, yeah. And then there was another two sisters that walked, the one blind, one-sided, and they also had another sighted friend that went with them, but they walked the El Camino Trail, in Portugal, and they talked about their experience in getting that set up and walking. I don't know how long I can't remember now if they walked 100 miles or something like that, but they did part of that trail.
It sounds like you get involved in a lot of really neat activities. Now, would you call yourself an adventurous person, or
apparently? Yes.
You must be a thrill seeker. Now, did you do that as much when you were sighted, or is this more since you've become blind, would you say?
Well, thrill seeker in one way isn't right, because like I don't like major roller coasters, and usually thrill seekers are in love with roller coasters, and I'm not a big fan.
You're not jumping out of planes or anything, right?
No, I have done the indoor skydiving, but
me too. That's awesome. I love doing that.
I like doing.
Where's a good place to go do that? Actually,
Orlando has one, Sky Venture. Actually, I think it may have changed names though, but it's on iDrive.
That is one thing I can highly recommend for any person sighted or not, is to check out the indoor skydiving, also known as a vertical wind tunnel. We've gone a bunch of times now, and it's lots of fun. And virtually, you certainly do not need to see. You can be most any age and almost any size, from little kids to pretty large adults. So a lot of fun, down on International Drive. So I think we could get a bunch of blind folks together and
that'd be
really
fun.
Throw them off.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
I heard that.
But they were very open when we went before, and certainly they had absolutely no problem with.
Hey, are pups allowed?
No.
I'm just saying. I mean, it's a guide dog.
Yeah.
But you know what? Let's bring our good guide dog friend to the stage.
We don't want to put poor Murphy
I was
through that.
I was talking to Dave in between when you had taken the dog out, but is it a shepherd by chance?
No, I have he's a Bouvier de Flanders.
Okay, Dave, I have no clue. Pardon me, sorry. No, but wow, because the way it whimpered when it wanted to go out, that's also. I've seen a lot of shepherds do that, because I used to work at Lighthouse Central Florida. Lighthouse works out in Coons.
Not as many shepherds around these days, I don't think, for guide dogs though. They're breaking in a lot of interesting breeds now.
Labs seem to be the most common guide dog, but he's a Bouvier de Flanders. He's a hyperallergenic dog. That's why I.
Where is that breed from? I'm not even familiar with that.
Well,
Bouvier
I
de
got him
Flanders.
from Freedom Guide Dogs, but it's actually a
That's
Belgian
in
breed.
New York, right?
Yeah, Freedom Guide Dogs is in New York, but the breed comes from Belgium. It's a cow herding dog from Belgium.
Well, I was thinking it might have been with the name of the de Flanders. I was trying to figure out, but it's interesting. I never heard of that breed before. So, well, before we go, because the time is going by pretty quick, I do want to cover a couple other little things that I know you're very involved with. A couple of the blindness organizations here locally, and if I'm not mistaken, you're still with ACB and.
Yeah, so I'm an officer in the Greater Orlando Council of the Blind. I'm the membership secretary for that group, and that Greater Orlando Council of the Blind is a affiliate of the Florida Council of the Blind, which is an affiliate of the American Council of the Blind. So it goes all the way up the chain to national.
Yes, we had our mutual friend on, Greg Limberg, episode or two ago, and so. It'll
That's
be,
right,
it's, I think, in May 13th, is it? Or
Yeah,
11th?
I think 14, 15, 16.
17th. Yeah,
17th is when
So
the Florida Council of the Blind conference is happening in Orlando.
at the Sheraton. But if you do type FCB or Florida Council of the Blind, you'll get details of the upcoming conference. And again, exhibitors and other people do tend to come by. So
what do you do as an officer for that organization, Asli?
Well, as the membership secretary, my main job is to keep track, like I have a spreadsheet of all the members and as they pay their dues and keep track of all their information and, get all the list of all the emails out to Sheila, who is our president, who sends out the emails, but make sure that she has all the right email addresses. But also as an officer, I'm the committee chairman for our scholarship committee. So we put out a application out every year to get out to all the students, blind students in the Osceola, Seminole, and Orange County. And the idea is if there's a blind student seeking higher education, whether it's a college degree or a different kind of trade degree or anything, higher education seeking more knowledge, they can apply for a scholarship, which we give out once a year. It's a $1,500 scholarship.
Which is pretty big. So it doesn't have to be a specific college necessarily.
No, you just have to be blind and live in one of those three counties, Osceola, Seminole, or Orange, and be seeking higher education. So
since I want to be a blind photographer, I guess that I could probably sign up and see if I could get.
There you go. It might be an interesting, because the application also has a whole, how will this achieve your goals and all that kind of stuff. So it'd be interesting to hear what your goals would be as a blind photographer. But you never know. Good work.
Yeah, $1,500 could go a long ways.
That's right.
I'm thinking. Well, as we're winding down, I'd like to get your thoughts as to anything you might want to leave with our audience as to, because you've gone through a lot in your life as far as the transition of going from totally sighted to blind, and certainly as full of a life as any sighted person ever could have, and then some. So what would you like to leave the listeners as far as your way of thinking, and maybe a little inspiration, and also if you've got time to perhaps play one more song,
sure.
that would be awesome as well.
It's not in the room
Awesome.
at the moment, but I can certainly go grab it. But
Sure.
I do enjoy my music. I think the main part is that a lot of people ask me, well, how do you do that? How do you do these things as a blind person? And part of it is when you have to, you will. When you really want to do something, you're going to find a way to make it happen. So that's the inspiration. Some people say, well, how do you learn JAWS? Well, when you have to learn it, you will,
I think that the whole thing is the want to. If you have the want, then there's always a way. It's just, people can help find
There's
you
also
the
one
way.
thing, Dave. If you're ever playing trivia and you need a really good trivia teammate, Asli is your person. Seriously.
Okay.
Just saying. I've been around you and we've played trivia before. Matter of fact, Derek Selbo, we heard a rerun. Well, if you go listen to the Blind and Beyond radio show, you'll hear Derek's story. But I remember playing or going to a place and I had trivia, and I want to be on your team anytime.
Oh, there you go. Actually, it's funny you say that. The Greater Orlando Council of the Blind is having a trivia night Saturday night, March 28th.
Fantastic.
And
That's coming up, folks.
I'll be performing between games, so there'll be music as well. But
Okay, March 28th. And is that at the VA?
Yeah, it's at the VFW on Goldenrod.
VFW on Goldenrod, and that is on the 28th of March at what time again?
It's 6 p.m. to 10 p.m.
6 to 10. Okay. Well, I'm just saying it nice and slow so transcripts pick it up.
Absolutely.
And I will definitely post it. These videos take about 24 hours for me to go through everything and get it ready for everyone. But I'll definitely put that in the descriptions for everybody to, not only this month, but for if you do live in the greater Orlando area. Again, Orange, Seminole, Osceola, please do reach out to the GOCB, and as well as Miss Asli, if you ever want to reach out to us and come back, just hey, I'm going to come back. Absolutely. And you have a stage here ready for you. So it's been such a pleasure to go from education and family, different dynamics, because again, I remember when you mentioned 7 years old, I moved to this country when I was about 7 years old too. So you took me flashing back to my own self with your own story. But it's just education is important to me, and it definitely seems that is something that's near dear to you, especially teaching others how to do programming as you have taught us. And so what is one thing that you look forward to in the next this next few months?
Well, like I said, I enjoy playing gigs, and I am playing at that trivia night. And then there is the 10-year reunion for Daring Sisters coming up in June, so I'm looking forward to going to that. And always, spending time with friends and having a good time. So
if you want to grab your guitar, we can.
I will do that.
We'll chat amongst ourselves for a second and let you grab that, and because it'd be great to get one more tune in. By the way, Brenda said that you're currently a black box, but she's able to see myself and Miss Asli.
The box is back.
We're switching things around.
I just put myself in a box. I don't know. Okay. Sometimes I do that.
But he
tuck
also
myself
can think
away because I don't want to be seen.
He can think out of the box too.
Yeah, I think.
Times,
yeah,
you have to. So the video's not working, or it is?
No, it is.
You're good.
I put myself in a box.
Okay.
Thank you.
No, you're good, Asli. But
yeah, I was misbehaving.
Yep, she can.
There you go. And if anybody's interested in finding out where I'm playing, or if you want more information about the Greater Orlando Council of the Blind or the scholarship, you can always email me at aslivision@gmail.com, and that's ASLI Vision, aslivision@gmail.com. So
okay, Ms. Asli, is there a way to pull your computer just a slight bit closer to you?
Let's see.
Or is it as close as it gets right now?
Is that better?
Yep.
All right.
There
I'll
you go.
leave you with, earlier I mentioned some of the songs are written by challenges that are, we come up with 4-word challenges. This was a 4-word challenge. The words were Vegas, music, 7, and rain. And they were actually all one word out of titles for musicals like The Music Man, 7 Brides for 7 Brothers, Singing in the Rain, and Viva Las Vegas. So we pulled one word from each of those titles, and this is what I came up with for my Rain Music 7 Vegas song.
Cool.
Went out to Vegas. The strip was shining like pure gold. It was nice to get out of the rain, but lucky 7 soon ran cold. Time to get back on the road. Went up to Denver, sampled me some great craft beers. So laid back in this big city town, but still there's something missing here. So now I'm back on the road. Am I lost if I have no destination? Am I found if I settle down? Well, for me, my life is in a journey. I'm not looking for solid ground. I'm not lost, but I can't be
Went down to Nashville, played my music up on stage. I've been back to visit all my friends, but Music City sure has changed. Guess I'm at home on the road. Am I lost if I have no destination? Am I found if I settle down? Well, for me, the joy is in the journey. I'm not looking for solid ground. On the road, it's about the exploration. On the road, I am nowhere bound. Yeah, for me, my life is in the journey. I'm not looking for solid ground. I'm not lost, but I can't be found. No, I can't be found. Went out to Frisco, went up to Boston, went on to London.
Well, all right. That's Asli.
Thank you.
Very, very nice. From the shuttle to the stage.
That's right.
She's got it all.
Is that the new band's name? Okay.
It could be. We really appreciate you joining us. It's been awesome, and appreciate you taking the time. I can't wait to get you back on here and talk about more interesting stuff, and maybe some of your adventures along the way, because sometimes that's the really interesting stuff.
That's right.
the behind the story. So we'll have to think about some stuff to stump you, perhaps. The favorite color was easy, so
Okay.
that one you handled a little too simple. So no, but thank you so much for taking the time, and we've really been looking forward to getting you on. So
Well, I appreciate it.
Appreciate
Thank
it.
you so much.
And
Yeah, that laughter, Dave, I think that's what just seals the deal, right? It's just we're all having so much fun, and thank you so much, Asli, for joining us this evening.
best to
And-
Murphy, and I know you'll come. You're not going to leave him out.
Right.
You should have a song.
Oh yeah,
Something
going
about
Paws and a
Murphy's
wolf to you and a bone to you, buddy.
Murphy's
gonna be-
Law or something like
Murphy's
that.
Laws is going to be the name of it. I've already decided that. Just
That's
trying
what I'm
to put it
thinking.
together.
Yeah, perfect. Well, that would be awesome. Thank you very much once again, and
Thank you.
we will talk to you soon.
Hang tight, ladies and gentlemen, and we'll be right with you after these few little words. They're musical words, if I didn't say.
Well, all right. Blind and Beyond, YouTube Nation. That was great talking to Asli. And, of course, Daniel. We want to thank both of them for taking the time to join us today. We are going to do a little rewind for the sake of the folks who listen to Blind and Beyond radio show and did not catch the second hour. We've got a blast from an interesting guest from last night we're going to share with you.
Tons of fun, Dave. Tons of fun. Yeah. Well, I guess we'll let him hear the recap, and then we'll come back before we check out. It's like, wow, look at the time, man. Today's been
Before we say bye-bye.
Jam-packed show, and don't worry about it. Next week, I'll try to do the same again, Dave, because we're always trying to take over the world, right?
There you go. One person at a time.
Pinky in the brain.
Guide dogs for the blind.
Yeah, like that.
I wonder what this button does here.
Oh, no, not that one.
Blind and Beyond.
Blind and Beyond.
It's the Blind and Beyond show.
With Hershey Trivedi.
And Dave Hillerbrand.
He'll be talking to all kinds of interesting people in the blindness community and beyond. I wonder where they could be. Let's check on them now.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hey, Hirsch, something weird is happening, man. I think we're landing. Wow.
Okay, well, joining us again is our friend Kirsten French. And Kirsten is the manager of community education and advocacy at Guide Dogs for the Blind, one of our wonderful sponsors.
Welcome.
Welcome back, Kirsten.
Welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Well, welcome back, and say
Welcome
hi
back.
to Sheila. I think Sheila was on the last time. You were.
I think maybe.
She was.
Hi,
I think so.
how are
So,
you?
No
Good to see
introductions
ya.
needed. So, Kirsten, first of all, how's Knightley?
She's fantastic. She just turned 6 last week.
Wow, happy birthday to Knightley. And Knightley is your guide dog, for those who don't know what I'm talking about.
And I know one of my friends is coming out there again in June to get her next dog and
exciting.
retiring her dog, which is really sad because her current dog is just amazing. But
Yeah, always a transition.
it's Marsha. I'm sure you know Marsha.
Oh, yes.
So, Kirsten, tell us about what you do there, and then tell us about the new access legislation. We're excited to learn about that.
So I'm the manager of community education and advocacy at Guide Dogs for the Blind, and I oversee all of our outreach efforts from potential applicants to professionals to community partners. And then on the advocacy side of things, I work to provide direct support to our clients, as well as working it all the way up through the systemic legislation and advocacy side of things. We have been seeing some growth recently with some new legislation. One of the things that was exciting was some new legislation that came out in South Dakota, 2 new bills that we were lobbying on. That one of the bills made it a crime to fraudulently represent your dog as a service dog. And the second was about service dogs being harmed when they're with their handler, and it made it a class 1 misdemeanor, which was very notable. And it also included that the dog doesn't have to be actively working when they're harmed for it to count, that the dog, as long as the dog's with their handler, whether they're relieving, just walking around, but as long as they're with their handler, if that dog is attacked, it counts at the same level as if a service dog was attacked while they are working. And this is legislation that isn't true in all states and was exciting to see.
Can you go into a little bit more detail about the first one?
Yeah, so for fraudulent misrepresentation, it makes it a crime that has a fine and a misdemeanor attached if you fraudulently misrepresent your dog, either by pretending that they are, even if you don't say, yes, this is a service dog, but if your act is the way that you're acting about this dog, whether it's putting on a vest, ignoring a question, that would be enough to say and the dog isn't a service dog, that would be enough if there's reasonable suspicion
Is that in
to
all the states or just
A
California?
lot of people will go online and register their dog fraudulently as a service animal, and they're not.
Correct. And this is only in this one was new in South Dakota. South Dakota did not have this legislation. Other states do have this, but South Dakota's was a little more broad than just how it is most common in other states.
Which is disgusting to me.
Absolutely.
I have the utmost disrespect for anybody that tries to say that dog is a service dog when they certainly aren't trained, and they certainly are not, and they're attacking other dogs, and that's not a trained guide dog.
Absolutely right.
Kirsten, a lot of people out there, a lot of the sighted people as well. Why don't you explain to them what a guide dog is and what is the role of a guide dog?
So guide dog is a task-trained service dog that is paired with someone who has a disability, someone who's blind or is visually impaired, and they increase that person's independence and mobility by staying aligned while walking down navigating around obstacles, finding down curbs, up curbs, APS signals, so there's buttons that will tell you when to walk, and also intelligent disobedience, where yes, the person who is the handler of the dog is responsible for knowing when it is safe to cross, but sometimes traffic patterns all of a sudden change where was safe to cross. You tell your dog to go forward, and then a car pulls out. The dog is also reading that to say, nope, I'm not going to go, and is disobeying the handler to say, it is now unsafe to increase independence and mobility.
And I have known several people that have had that happen to them, as they're like, why are you not making me move forward or not letting me move forward? And they realized that if they had moved forward, they would have been dead because there was a car coming, and dogs are just amazing.
Yes.
And your school has got an awesome reputation.
And yes, and it's just countless clients say how much more confident they are traveling with their guide dog to travel in new situations. I know that firsthand from myself, to say I can travel places that I don't have to learn about first. I can use my O&M skills, but I also know that my dog is making wise decisions to know how to navigate through something that's really tricky, and I can get where I need to go traveling how I want to travel.
Kirsten, well, and people need to understand that, I'm sorry, Lynn.
No, that's okay, go ahead.
But people need to understand that the dog doesn't automatically know where the elevator is. You yes. When you go into a building or go into a hotel, you educate them as to where the elevator is, and then 99% of the time, if they're a well-trained dog, they can get you back to that elevator every time you want to say, so-and-so, find the elevator.
That's very true, Sheila, because a lot of sighted people think, oh, there's a guy.
Oh, yeah, they're just so smart. They're going to find the elevator when you walk in the door. No, that's not. That is not true.
In your bio, Kirsten, that you sent to me, you said that you play a key role in addressing access barriers and promoting equity for people who are blind or low vision. Would you like to explain that?
One of the big parts of my job is that clients will reach out with access questions that they're experiencing in their area, whether it is rideshare refusals or questions about workplace access or housing access. And I work individually with clients on those issues to help them navigate that issue so that they can, once they're leaving class, they can be consistently working their dog and be mitigating those barriers. But then also, as we see where we see a pattern of here's common questions that are coming up, how do we work at a larger level. And that's where some of the South Dakota legislation came up, where we recently updated the advocacy section of our website to increase the resources that clients can use before they might even reach out to us, where community members can find resources. Of a landlord needs to know, what questions am I allowed to ask? What paperwork am I allowed to gather, not gather for a guide dog? And so that the inclusion may be consistent across the board for all clients.
Kirsten, before we run out of time, please tell people out there what they need to do about being denied by Lyft and Uber if they are denied.
Yes, two big parts with that. One is make sure that you are reporting it to the rideshare service that you're using. And second of all is important to also report it to the Department of Justice on their form. That information is step by step on our website, or you're always welcome to reach out and we can do it over the phone with you, or you can do it over the phone with the DOJ, because the recent rideshare case that the DOJ has brought up against Uber was built because of all of the denials that are submitted. And we know that these are happening at a high rate, and nothing's going to be done about it if they aren't reported.
So, Kirsten, even if you did not get your dog from Guide Dogs for the Blind, they can still call you up for help?
Yes.
Oh, okay. That's good to know.
Yeah.
Very good to know. Michael, you had a question?
Tell us about the two campuses you have, one in
Yeah.
California, one in Oregon.
Yes, we have two campuses, one in Boring, Oregon, right outside Portland, and the other one in San Rafael, California, just north of San Francisco. And at both campuses, we do our guide dog training and guide dog class, our formal guide dog classes, as well as our orientation and mobility classes, as if you're looking for building those skills prior to getting a guide dog, or while you're currently working your guide dog. And when you are on campus, all meals are provided, lodging is provided, and it is wonderful. And something that's exciting on the Portland campus is that we recently broke ground for our new student residence, which will enable us to be offering more services outside of from our Boring campus.
That's fantastic. And if anybody's interested in learning more about Guide Dogs for the Blind, just go to guidedogs.com. And before we say goodnight, why don't you tell us a little bit about you are a triathlete. Wow.
Yes. And
tell us about that before we say goodnight.
Yes, I love to do triathlons especially throughout the Pacific Northwest. Of the three, my favorite is the swimming portion, then biking, and then finally running. But the season is just starting, and I'm excited and looking forward to some great triathlons this year.
So swimming, biking, and running, you said?
Yes.
But you and Knightley go hiking together, I read.
Correct, yes. We do as much hiking as we can. The weather is finally extra nice for that.
And that helps you train? It gives
Yes.
you the stamina?
Yes.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Wow. All right. So everybody, if you're interested in Guide Dogs for the Blind, check it out. Guidedogs.com.
Yeah, I would love to have a dog, but I just wouldn't work it. And I don't feel that I love dogs and I spoil dogs, but I don't work. And
Yeah.
I'm retired and the dog wouldn't work. And I don't feel that gives a working dog justice.
And that's a really responsible decision.
But I hate it because I really want one.
Well, Sheila, would you qualify for a dog that's been retired?
Well,
I wonder.
Yeah, probably. But as much as I travel, I wouldn't be able to take the dog with me. So
You're
then
a
I'd have
busy
to
cup
find
of tea.
somebody to take care of the dog. So that would defeat the purpose. So, but yeah, I don't travel a lot, but I do travel. And I just don't feel that I don't work at any longer. I'm retired and I don't travel enough. I mean, I do travel, but I don't travel enough to make them work.
Yeah.
So they would get, untrained by just sitting around here while I'm volunteering and doing computer stuff.
Well, Well, we look forward to your next visit, Kirsten. I understand you're coming on
before we say
again
goodnight,
soon.
let's get the address again.
You mean the website?
Yeah.
Well, Kirsten, could you give out the website too?
Yeah, so it is guidedogs.com.
So easy. And that's dogs with an S.
Correct. Guidedogs.com.
All right.
Kirsten, it was a pleasure to talk to you again.
Absolutely. And we look forward to your next visit. I understand a little birdie told me you'll be back soon.
Yep. See you all in April.
Yep.
Thank you so much for coming on.
And early
Thank you. Bye.
Early happy Easter.
Well, all right, Hershey.
Yes. How was that?
That was a
What map
cool little blip from the Blind
Woof,
and
woof.
Beyond
It's all
radio
about the
show
dogs,
from
man.
last night. I enjoyed that. Yeah, she had lots of good information, and
Yes, indeed. You know what? I actually also enjoyed the first hour guest, so if you do check it out, Blind and Beyond Radio Show.org. And if you want to donate, you'll have their donate link as well. But don't forget, we have our friend Daniel Lubiner, the executive director of the Touchpad Pro Foundation, our first hour guest, and he has a GoFundMe.
that's Blind Doodle.
BrailleDoodle, dude.
That's right.
Doodle dude. Hey, that's a cool name, Doodle dude. Anyway,
I like that.
but no, it is.
Could have one of them Blind Doodle dogs, you know?
Hey, yeah. But at BrailleDoodle.org, if you want. And again, I will be posting links and all the little pertinent things as I can. If I do miss something, shout out in the comments. Hey, please, can I get that thing?
You'll get it next time.
And our friend Daniel and others that were in the chat, the other Daniel, thank you so much for your support. And we'll definitely get you an email with information about Braille.
N4DAL, that is.
Yes, indeed. Yes, we'll
Thank
get you the information.
Thank you to Miss Asli. She was awesome and some great information.
Very amazed by the journey. I don't even think we hit the surface on half of the stuff there.
No,
but
we've got to beg to get her back again and.
Oh yeah, yes indeed.
Talk about some.
Again, you know, it's Greg Lindbergh had his different journeys and stories, and Asla, and I remember meeting Alicia as well. So maybe shout out to you if you want to come on. Please come on by, because there's just so much just talent and stories and wealth of inspiration in my opinion. What do you think? Are you inspired?
I am inspired.
You know, because first couple episodes it was all about resilience. And now I'm feeling this feeling of a theme going on of inspiration after I walk away every episode. You know, it's like I'm not doing enough.
Hershey's in the black box.
Wake up. You gotta wake up. You know. But here's Dave just, you know, playing the tunes of the tunes. And what are some things that we learned ever since we did the show last week? That was last week. You have to go rewind the tape. Thank you. Thank you so much for everyone's support, providing us with feedback. It's a couple guys that have some vision problems here, you know. But one likes playing music on his guitar, and the other just has drums playing all around. But then the microphone will pick it up and I'll get in trouble. So, till next week, we have guest number 1 pretty much sorted out. Guest number 2, another educator. Maybe we'll get this educator in the seat this week. What do you think, Dave? You know what I'm talking about?
Hoping.
You know
It's going to be a mystery, my friends. That's all I can tell you.
Yeah, that one guy, you know, the one guy from back in the day. Oh man, I might have said too much.
We'll soon see.
We'll see. But if you have any comments, concerns, please drop comments if you have any other thoughts, email blindandbeyondshow@gmail.com. If
Who should we
any
have on? You know, you can tell us.
Yeah. Good, bad, anything in between. We want to improve for you.
Would you like us to
And
have Stevie Wonder on? Well, tell us
work
how
on
to
that.
get him. And that would be a good first
Hey,
step.
don't tell
right?
me to do that. I might just have to go do that. Sorry, it might be this weird OCD thing I have. I don't know what I have, but you know what? Put your mind to it. Be inspired. It's okay if you're blind out there. This is the Blind and Beyond show, but we were inspired, Dave and I think we could do this. Why? Because you, the audience, have watched at least 124 hours worth of our content. I'm mind blown. What do you think, Dave?
Me too.
124 hours.
I think we should do it again next week.
And then
have a
next
good
week
week,
and
my
next week.
friends. Do something
Peace
fun. Do something nice for your fellow man.
Agreed. But till then, peace and love. Don't forget to do the whole likey, subscribe, and we'll catch you soon.